So, this is Friday afternoon. I love you to my wives. You should know who you are. I had something happen today. I gotta share it with you. This is the end of the month, so it's payday for the poor, so it's kind of busy around here. One of the guys that helps me out, is from the eastern provinces of Canada, and he was telling me today about either a relative of his or a neighbor. I think it was a relative of his. Who, I don't know how long the marriage was, but one day the wife came home from work and found the husband at home, and he had boiled one of the children and baked the other one. And so anyway, he was sentenced to 17 years in prison in Canada for that. In the United States, you probably get 2 life sentences. Anyway, so like that's not what's amazing. What's amazing for me is that his wife has not only forgiven him, but serves him his meals with no contact with him at all. Like he has nothing to do with her other than allowing her to serve him and his mother. He's built himself kind of a brick, like a concrete box apparently that he lives in. It has as little to do with the outside world as possible. Basically, he's made a hermit of himself, given himself a life sentence beyond what the authorities do. And the amazing thing is that all his family, the neighbors, and everyone forgive this man and want him to come out of his box. I don't know how long he's been in it, but imagine it's for a couple of years. So the thing is, like 17, he's spent 17 years in prison, and she's still there for him. After he, shake and bakes the kids, like, Nora, I don't think I love you that much. I don't. I can't believe this. I know he's mentally challenged, and everybody understands this. Like, the guy didn't do it in his right mind, but you know what? If somebody's like, people don't get that far offside that that quickly, I wouldn't theorize. Turn into a kid, your own child, murder overnight. I wouldn't. I don't know. I just don't know. Things like that, like these are not like none of them can read. Like these are illiterate people. This guy that works for me is crippled. He's in a wheelchair. And he's the most honest, industrious individual I could find in 300 men. Anyway, he's doing very well for himself, but so he's been sharing, I'm getting to know him a little more than I did to start with, and like for a guy who can't read or write. He memorized his phone numbers. He can phone people and stuff. Remembers letters like RCMP. But so the thing is, like there's people with really strong family ties that we need to learn from as a society. And I could be found in Washington or Manhattan. I'm sorry to tell you this. Can be found, in the country, communities, and where tragedies occurred, and learn from those people how they deal with stuff. And learn from them, because the cities in North America, the urban North America, is a clinically insane basket case, a biblically foretold beast. Menstrual women that give birth to monsters. That means perverted women who made out of season, basically. So that'd be women who marry only, who insist on being the only wife of a man. It's going to pervert her, the husband, the children, the entire marriage. Somebody lied to you. You believed it and built yourself a fantasy around it. And you're imprisoning people for contravening the precepts of a mentally deranged illusion that you worship. As if it were God himself, and it's not God himself, trust me when I say this. So, I would never lie to you about shit like that. Never lie to you about any shit, but like that's, if you're playing cards with me or Monopoly, don't trust me. But I'm speaking to you as a king. You can pretty much trust that what I'm speaking to you is the best that I have to offer in the moment. And so, I'm inspired by these people, a lot more inspired by these people than some bimbo clamped jurors pandering to the basest, meanest common denominator of his community, fornicating in his own knowledge of law and what works to pronounce a death sentence on a mentally imbalanced, mentally deficient young black man who raped, killed a young white girl. He didn't. Nobody's contesting this. And he's got no remorse for it either. And which proves his stupidity. I mean, he's being tried for his life, showing up in court like it's, baseball tryouts. You're whistling, paying no attention to anything, joking, kidding around. So he's not clearly, these people want to kill him for his attitude more than actually what he did. And the judge taking my God as a foundation for his oratory irks me. I like to punch his teeth down his throat. You can't bring your daughter back. We can kill this sucker. And if you do any research on this blog, you'll note that it's mentioned underneath the video that the subtle glee with which men decide to take the life of another who's basically defenseless and incoherent and stupid. Speaking of this one, me. Anyway, so I have to see things like this, and it's not very pretty for me. And I try not to view this around dinner time, or because it really makes me want to puke. But what you do to children, each other, God's laws. Anyway, but there's a lot to be said for you as well. Not much for your academics, your politicians. Your building builders, there's a lot to be said for them, and your infrastructure builders. I applaud them in their efforts. But the implementation and the interpretation of your laws and the laws of God make any vertical individual ill. And you're making yourselves ill with every breath you take. And your children ill with every breath they take. Because you're too stupid to realize life is a learning process. It never stops. Just because you get a fucking degree means squat. It means you've been able to give a hand job to a significant number of professors. That's it. Doesn't mean you know how to think. I don't see any evidence of thinking going on this planet. I got 7 billion people here. We're functioning as a collective net, fucking wits. All I have. I don't care as long as my thuck stays on. You know what I mean? I don't fuck with my thuck. Okay? But you don't fuck with my thuck, I'll do anything you want. But not even bed bugs operate that way. Anyway. Someday you're going to say that I wasn't kidding about this stuff. And you know what you're going to say? Holy fuck, I wish I'd listened to that motherfucker sooner. That's what you're going to say.